That's just my personal opinion. I think that that's the thing that sustains you for a lifetime. If you see these older couples on Instagram and you see these clips and these reels and that junk be real, that's the realest clips that I see on Instagram. Mm-hmm. When she making him a sandwich, that clip where she was making him a sandwich, and yo, they had a bond that was beyond anything, and there was nothing that she could say, that somebody could say to him about him, and there's nothing that they would let get in the way of their bond. And that came from forging a friendship throughout their relationship that is stronger than anybody or anyone can tear apart.
I wouldn't say friendship. I would just say family. I look at my husband as my family. That's stronger than a friendship, because friendship, they come and go all damn day.
Turn on their family members every day.
Thank you, Lady D.
They do, but they're still your family. They're blood. Okay, so that's
well. I mean, I believe in the word.
Yeah,
the word says your family is not your blood. Your family is the people that's going in the direction that you're going. And even Jesus himself, when Mary was knocking at the door and he was with the apostles, he said, "Listen, who is that? That's not my mother. Y'all are my family." Mm-hmm. The people that he walked the earth with, not necessarily the people that he grew up with or raised with. There was the people that left their family. And he said, leave your mother and father and walk with me and do my work. Those were the people that he called family. It wasn't the people that he had a bloodline with. It was the people that was doing the work with him and was going in the direction. Even the word says, turn away from your mother and your father and leave your house.
I agree. Wait, hold on,
Anton. Family is overrated. That is a word that people use in order to validate doing bad shit and then covering up for people that ain't actually supposed to be doing the things that they're supposed to be doing.
I agree with that. Okay. But we're not going to say when you find that family, which is, it could be a friend. All right. It don't have to be blood. Now, I understand that. I'm saying that the word family is stronger than friendship. That's all I'm saying. So we look at our spouses as a family.
Then why did Jesus say, I call you my friends?
Where does it say that?
Friends stick closer than a brother.
He literally look it up in the word. He said, I call you my friends.
Yeah, I will have to see that. I haven't seen the friends.
Look it up.
Yeah.
He didn't say, so just because he said that. He did not say, I call you my family. He said, I call you my friends.
So
and
because Jesus said that, we got to
if you suffer with me, you are my friends and you will reign with me. That is what it says in the word, literally.
Okay, so in the word, you do know you could look up word by definition. So did you do that?
Oh, what?
Did you look up the word by definition? So in the Bible, because I see the Bible, but I didn't know we was going to do that today. In the Bible, though, did you look up that word?
And which word specifically are you referencing? Are you talking about friend?
The friend. So in the Bible, right?
I can go and get my concordance and we can reference it in the Bible.
You can, because I haven't heard that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask Anton a question real quick?
You teaching me. So I haven't heard the friend thing in the Bible, but I do know when you look up words from the Bible, it would tell you exactly what it means. So friend may relate back to family. I don't know. So I want to see what it is that you're talking about.
Can I ask Anton a question?
He literally says a friend sticks closer than a brother. There's definitely a differentiation between the two.
No, I didn't.
Go ahead, Kiara, before I go get my concordance.
Look at
what was your question?
As a definition.
Anton, listen, man, I know I'm just a lowly, poor Negro compared to you, sir, but I do have to ask you a question. Have you killed your neighbor for working on the Sabbath day, since you're taking everything in the Bible so literally?
Well, see, here's the interesting thing about the Bible that you don't probably understand. Hold on, I'm gonna add the context, right, before I answer the question. The context is that what you're referring to is the Old Testament, right? This was prior to Jesus coming. And if you actually understand and you read Galatians and you read the letter that Paul wrote to the Galatians, he said, do away with the Mosaic way and the Mosaic law, because that was the biggest thing that they were competing against. And I don't want to make this Bible study, and we can go into Bible study specifically. But
go ahead.
That's what the world needs.
One of the things that was really, and this is one of the reasons why I have debates, and I have these off cameras in real life with these Hebrew Israelites, is because they lean so much into the Old Testament without understanding the entirety of the word. The Old Testament and the old law was there to show you what you weren't capable of, because very rarely, it was only a couple different people, right, that made it to heaven. But we're going to get into that later. But you couldn't keep the law. You even had to have intercessors go to God on your behalf. And that's why they were making so many sacrifices with calves and goats and all of these different things in order to absolve themselves of the sins that they couldn't help themselves from doing. So when it says keep the Sabbath, that's true. When it says don't kill your neighbor, that's true. When you actually look at why Jesus came and the fulfillment of the promise of the covenant that God gave to Abraham, right? You start to get more understanding as to why Paul was writing the letters to the Galatians. Paul was writing the letters to the Galatians because he was saying that we need to do away with the Mosaic law. And he only had 2 laws. We only have 2 commandments going forward, right? So it's not that you can't do anything or that you're not going to sin. It's to love yourself and to love your neighbor as yourself. That's basically the foundation of how you're supposed to be operating in the New Testament, which we're still in today. So you can't take the Old Testament ways, because then you'd have to take all of the hundreds of laws that wasn't even stated outside of the 10 commandments. You'd have to go and substantiate that. So I can say to you, do you eat shellfish?
No.
I'm sorry.
So you don't eat shellfish?
No.
Have you ever been interested in another man's woman?
Never.
Never. Even without knowing. You've never looked at a woman.
Oh, you mean like at the workplace or something like that? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I find out that,
can I read?
I'm an animal, of course. I mean, I look at a female if I'm out.
Oh, so your animalistic nature overtook what it was the law, as far as what it was that you're supposed to do and not do.
But
right?
that's everybody, Anton.
Yeah, we're not talking about everybody.
Veronica,
man, Anton ain't gonna let you put him with everybody.
I got a verse. I got a verse. It don't tie into what I want to answer for the video, but I just got a verse. If y'all want me to read the verse,
yeah, go ahead.
I think I know exactly what Anton means, but in the context of what the verse says. So this is John 15:13-15, right? It says, greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. You are my friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. That's what it says.
Now, Anton, can I say something real quick? Now,
sure.
I'm not as versed.
I know we're not just gonna skip over that verse that he just read. Go ahead.
Right.
Amen.
I'm not as versed as,
I'm looking it up on my dictionary I was telling you about.
I'm not as versed on the scriptures as many of you people are, but if I'm not mistaken, Jesus also said, give up all your worldly possessions.
No, he said that to one specific man that asked Jesus, how could he specifically follow Jesus? He says, sell all of your earthly possessions. See, I know the whole Bible. He told him to sell all of your earthly possessions and then follow me. It was a test for that man, because he knew that man was unwilling to truly follow him, which means that he couldn't be one of his disciples.